Father, I ask that you hide me behind your cross, that you give me a deluge of your power that makes preaching look easy, Lord God. I pray, Lord God, that you have your way with this vessel of clay, and that you continue to hide me by your cross, that your anointing will have your way, Lord God. Come in and do what it is that you do, Lord God. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. My strength and my Lord and my Redeemer. My assignment this morning can be found in Exodus 3, verses 1 through 10. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. And he led the flock to the back of the desert and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire from the midst of a bush. So he looked, and behold, the bush was burning with fire, but the bush was not consumed. Then Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush does not burn. So when the Lord saw that he turned aside to look, God called to him from the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. Then he said, Do not draw near to this place. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place where you stand is holy ground. Moreover, he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the oppression of my people who are in Egypt, and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. So I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up from that land to a good and large land, to a land flowing with milk and honey, to a place of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hittites and the Jebusites. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel has come to me, and I have also seen the oppression with which the Egyptians oppressed them. Come now, therefore, and I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. May God add a blessing to the reading as well as to the hearing of his holy word. If I had to give this sermon a title this morning, I would call it, God Hears the Cries from His People. Today I want to talk about the topic oppression. What is oppression? Oppression is defined as the feeling of being heavily weighted down in body or mind, an unjust use of force or authority to overwhelm or crush someone. We are living in a time, if we stand still and quiet long enough, we'd be able to hear the cries of oppression coming from the earth and coming from those in the image of God. And if I may be bold enough to say that within that still quietness, we'd be able to hear the cries of oppression coming from our very own souls. There are many different types of oppression, some coming from the corridors on Capitol Hill, some from across the inner cities of America. Cries are being bellowed out, some in the night and some in the daytime, but nonetheless, cries of oppression, tears of anguish and tears of sorrow. The caveat is, the difference between the cries on Capitol Hill and the difference between the cries in the inner city are on Capitol Hill, the cries are due to the differences in opinions and ideologies, and just blatant stonewalling being done on both sides of the house. However, the cries that we hear in the inner city are perhaps the tears of mothers and fathers not having enough to feed their children. The tears and the anguish that come from mothers and fathers who are standing by the gravesides of their children who may have been killed by senseless gunfire. Wow. The cries of oppression, those on the margin of life, are real. Some from the bedrooms of a nursing home, praying that God will send someone to come and see about them. Or perhaps out from the bedside of a hospital, fighting for their lives and hoping for a cure or for healing. This oppression is on our home soil. Then there is the oppression that is felt on foreign soil abroad. As I turn on the news, I can't help to think of how short-lived the news coverage was for the devastation that had gone on in the Bahamas. There was a snippet that was mentioned that there were 7,000 Haitians who fled from their country from persecution to the Bahamas, who were in fear of their lives. But I digress. I bring you good news this morning, despite the oppression, that there is a word from God. Turn with me to the book of Exodus chapter, verse 1. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and led the flock to the back of the desert and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. This was the same Moses that was born a Hebrew but raised an Egyptian. Moses received the finest education that money could buy, but now we see him tending sheep. We all know the story of Moses all too well. But for those of you this morning who do not know the story, here is a quick synopsis. Moses was born at the time when there was an order, a decree that went out into the land, that all male babies should be killed. Thanks to the quick wit of his Mother Jochebed, who made a light floating device, placed her baby in it and sent it down the river to escape the death threat. One of Pharaoh's daughters fetched Moses out of the water and fell in love with him. Pharaoh's daughter took the baby home and had it raised as an Egyptian. God hears the cries, the oppression. He heard the cries and the oppressions of Moses' mother, and he not only heard it, but he answered it. He took it a step further. God saw that Moses' mother, Jochebed, was not only be able to retrieve the baby, but she was able to be paid for what she would have done for free. This is the kind of God we serve. Okay, now flash forward with me to the burning bush of verse 2. Wow. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire from the midst of the bush. Yeah. So he looked, and behold, the bush was burning with fire, but the bush was not consumed. This is not an everyday occurrence when someone is going about their normal routine and they come across a bush that is on fire. Not only fire, but not being consumed by the fire. Not to mention that the angel of the Lord was speaking to him through the bush. Saints of God, it is a known fact that when the hand of God is upon our lives, that God will use whatever means or mode of communication necessary in order to get our attention and in order to get his message across to us. And if that means that he has to engulf a bush with a fire, and whereby the fire does not consume the bush, then so be it. Verse 3. Then Moses said, I will turn aside and see the great sight, why the bush did not burn. So when the Lord saw that he had turned aside to look, God called to him from the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses, and he said, Here I am. Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. It is my belief that Moses was afraid because it was a known fact, if one looked upon God, they would drop dead. No one could look upon God and live. God intervened and stopped Moses in his tracks from being inquisitive and wanting to turn aside and see. God was protecting Moses. Amen. At that time, God instructed Moses not to move, not to come any closer. He instructed Moses to take off the sandals from his feet, for the ground that he was standing on was holy ground. Let me pause here for a moment, because this is very important. Although God loves us and continues to shower his love on us, we must be mindful of this one fact, that we must respect the things of God. Yeah. We must have a reverential awe for the things of God. We cannot approach God in any kind of way. That's right. We cannot approach God in a haphazard manner. We must be careful how we approach God. God reminds Moses in verse 6 that he is the God of his father and the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Yeah. I notice here that God doesn't say, I was the God of your father, of Isaac, of Abraham, and Jacob. But he mentions that I am the God, denoting I am presently the God of the past, the present, and the future. God is a covenant-keeping God. God goes on further to remind Moses through 7 and 9. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the oppression of my people who are in Egypt, and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. So I've come down to deliver them out of the hand of the to bring them up from the land to a good and large land, to a land flowing with milk and honey, into the place of the Kenites, the Hittites, the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Now therefore, behold, the children of Israel has come to me, and I have also seen the oppression with which the Egyptians oppressed them. Our forefathers, as a black people, identified themselves with Hebrews. They believed that God would deliver them from the hand of their oppressor, their slave owners. We've coined this belief today as liberation theology, the study of God's liberation. Our forefathers knew and believed that slavery was wrong and that no man could be enslaved by another human being, not physically, mentally, and definitely not spiritually. Some this morning may be asking, why so much pain and persecution? If God is so good and great, why does he allow me to go through what I'm going through? I do not come this morning professing to know all the answers, but what I do know that if pain and sorrow, hard times and tribulation have reached you, it didn't reach you before going through the filter of God's hands. And if it's reached you, do know that God will serve, the God we serve will deliver us all, but it will be done on his time and not on ours. There are two distinct characteristics of God. There's God's permissive will, where God allows things to happen, and then there's God's perfect will, God's best. Sometimes God allows adversity in our lives to just show up, just to show how strong God is. Let me say this, and then I'm going to get out of your way. Our nation has a long history and track record for oppressing people. With that said, we the people of God can no longer afford to stand idly by and watch another group of people be oppressed. First, it was the Native Indians, American Indians, pushed off their land and placed on what is known as the reservation. Second, let's not forget the atrocities that were done to our forefathers brought over from the continent of Africa to the Americas in chains and placed in the bottom of ships as they journeyed across the transatlantic slave trade, forced to eat and go to the bathroom in the same space. Some overcome by disease, others died before reaching the shore of the New World. Others decide to jump overboard into the deep sea. They rather die than become a slave. Others died by the hand of their oppressors, facing the end of a barrel of a gun, shot by slave traders in order to instill fear into the other captive slaves. Now today, the newest group to be oppressed are of Mexican descent, being marginalized, treated less than humans, parents being separated from their children. Saints of God, oppression is not a new phenomenon. We cannot continue to bury our heads in the sand, believing that the narrative being told to us in the mainstream media, the narrative that we, as African Americans, have no connection to the continent of Africa. And on the same token, Africans, those who have come over to America after the Civil Rights era and who are now enjoying the benefits of those who have gone on before us, cannot turn their nose down on African Americans who have been born here in the United States. We must come to the profound knowledge that we are in this fight together, that we all have a common enemy, and that enemy is Satan, the one who comes to kill, steal, and destroy, the one who prowls around like a lion, seeking whom he may devour. Our fight is not against one another, for we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers and against the authorities and against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly places. My brothers and sisters, if you find yourself this morning clothed in your right mind, with the ability to lift your hands and lift your voices and praise God for the goodness, the attitude we ought to display is gratitude. My brothers and sisters, we are blessed because we have this very moment, this opportunity to worship God without hindrance. We live in a country where we have freedom of religious liberty to worship God without the fear of persecution. It says in Luke 4:18-19, the prophet Isaiah proclaiming the year of the Lord. The Spirit of the Lord is upon us because he has anointed me, proclaim liberty to the captives, covering of sight to the blind, and set liberty to those who are oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord. We, like the children of Israel, have been freed from captivity, freed from slavery. I'll leave you with this one question. How will you, or how will we, as the body of Christ, respond to the hurting and the suffering of our day? We serve a covenant-keeping God, a God who is omniscient, all-knowing, and all-seeing, a God who not only hears the cries of his people, but he responds. Jesus came down through 40 and 20 and 2 generations to see about you and to see about me. Jesus gave his life a ransom, to redeem us and to buy us back to himself. Jesus set his face, his flesh towards Calvary, where he hung high and they stretched him wide. He bled and he died. His shed blood for the atonement of sins. I thank God that that is not the end of the story. Jesus was buried on Friday. He laid in the grave all day Saturday, but early Sunday morning, he got up with all power in his hand and is now seated at the right hand of the Father, interceding for you and for me. God hears the cries of the oppressed. The word of the Lord. Amen.
Preachers poured out a heart unto us, speaking to the relevancy of our time. What are we going to do as a result of God bringing us out of darkness? Now that we're walking in the light, what is our responsibility for those who are still in darkness? Our answer is Jesus Christ. We've come this far. God has brought us this far by his grace. The very fact that we are present is an indication that God has been good to us. And we need to acknowledge that. And when we see others who are being oppressed, we need to say something. We need to speak out. And we need to let people know that oppression doesn't define us. But we are defined by him who created us in his image and loved us so much that he gave himself for us. Because of that reality, there's someone here today, some man, woman, boy, girl present who has not accepted Christ as Lord and Savior. If you have not committed your life to Him, whom to know His life. If you never surrendered yourself to Him, perhaps you've not repented of sin, haven't placed your faith in the finished work of Jesus Christ. Remember, Jesus said, I come that you might have life, and that you might have it more abundantly. If you want life, it's in Jesus. I know the enemy is saying you can have this, you can have that, you can have anything the devil offers you is shortly if you can believe it. And it turns sour fast. But life, eternal life, abundant life, knows no bounds and continues to become more and more and more. So come to Jesus. Surrender your life.